Michael, you've had top order batting clutches before, but is that particularly hard to swallow because it was set up quite well today?
A lot of things are hard to swallow at the moment. Look, I think credit to Davey and Chris, the way they started. Both of them played really well, and it's nice to see Davey Warner back in the runs and playing his way. That's great for the team. And then, obviously, our middle order found plenty of ways to get out, which is extremely disappointing considering the start we got. But I've got to pay credit to Stuart Broad as well. I think his performance in this Test match was exceptional, and when a bowler, any good bowler, gets their tail up and gets some momentum, they're generally hard to stop. And unfortunately, we couldn't stop him in either innings.
How hard is it, Michael? It just gets harder and harder. Ashes series, 3-0 on the play.
I don't enjoy the press conferences, to be honest. You guys asking me the same questions, me having to answer it the same way. It's never nice to lose games of cricket. Is it any different? Well, since taking over the captaincy, I guess the difference for me when I've lost as a player, I'll probably take it more personally, especially when you make no runs yourself. I think I've said for a long time that it's important that you're leading from the front as a player first and foremost. Look, it's extremely disappointing. I guess I know what it feels like now to lose an Ashes series as a captain.
Michael, the ball that got you out, how good a delivery was that? I mean, you've had one of those before in the series as well, but can you say how hard that was to play?
At the end of the day, Spartan give me a cricket bat to use, I got to use it. So it was a good ball, but the great batsmen find ways to keep those out.
When Broad gets his tail up, do you kind of sense as a team, he's done this before, obviously the Oval in 09, do you get a sense that he's kind of got his tail up and he's got that kind of unstoppable momentum behind him?
I think you see it against good bowlers all the time. It's about trying to find a way to combat that, get through that spell, and you see the benefits on the other side. But unfortunately, in this Test match, in both innings, we couldn't get through it.
Michael, this is probably one of those often repeated questions, but how do you lift the guys now ahead of the next Test?
Well, I think right now it's about allowing this to sink in. We've got some time, which is a positive for us. We've got another tour game. We've got plenty of time to train and keep working hard. The most difficult thing is that our preparation and training has been outstanding. The boys are working their backsides off, so I can't ask for anything more of the players in regards to preparation. At the moment, we're being outplayed.
Do you take any encouragement at all from the fact that the change at the top of the order worked pretty well today?
I'll take encouragement from that, yeah, sure. I like the sound of that. Look, I think, like I said, it's nice to have Davey making runs, Chris Rogers make his debut, his first 100, for Australia, and another 49 in the second innings is certainly a positive. Ryan Harris with the ball, exceptional. Continues to perform and find ways to get on the park firstly, but to have success. So I'm really pleased for those individual players. I think we can certainly take a lot of positives from that, but it's tough to be sitting here losing another Test match, to be honest.
I know this is a great mystery question, but do you expect, what do you expect out of Wyatt? Do you think he'll be fit? Do you think it's unlikely to be able to bowl in time to be picked?
I'm not sure, Mel, to be honest. I don't know. The advantage we have time, so hopefully it's good to see him out on the field today and to be able to bat in his normal position, so that's a positive for us. I think it's just going to be a matter of time, and if he can do the rehab and have enough time for treatment and recovery, hopefully he's available for selection.
Ben? Michael, was there enough time before the next series starts to stop these batting clutches? It just seems it's a sort of problem that's been dragging on for quite a long now.
For how long? A few years. We've got a couple of months, I guess. Look, I think at the end of the day, all I can ask from the players is that they continue to try and get better every day. You know, every day you get out of bed, you try and become a better player, and that'll make us a better team. That's all I can ask, and the boys are working exceptionally hard. So that's all we can keep doing.
Has the team forgotten how to win? Do you think?
No, I don't think so. You know, chasing 300, the last innings of a test match is always going to be difficult. There's no doubt about that. I don't think today was about forgetting how to win. I think we just got, like I say, a good bowler, got his back up and got momentum and ran with it, and we couldn't stop him.
Rod?
What's it like in the rooms when that sort of collapse comes, that starts and just gradually gets worse and worse? Like things just go a bit sort of quiet, or what's the feeling like?
What do you expect the feeling to be like?
Well, no, but I mean, is it just panic setting, or what are the guys actually?
Well, some guys are taking their pads off, like me, and other guys are putting their pads on because they're going to go on bat, pretty much. Yeah, the mood in the change room is fantastic. The guys have been great. Their attitude's been outstanding. I can't fault them on any of that. I can't fault their belief, their will to try and win. You know, everybody's been, even today we turned up with the attitude we're going to win this test match. So I can't fault that.
Could you been in good positions in this series? Haven't been able to get across the line. It's sort of the same against South Africa as well. Is that the feeling that it's not quite there, but you're getting close, but it's not quite happening at the moment?
I'd like our batting to be scoring more runs. To be honest, I think our bowlers are doing a fantastic job in what seems to be, you know, pretty good batting wickets in general. There's enough there for the bowlers, there's no doubt, but I think our bowlers over the past couple of years have been doing a fantastic job for us. I don't think we're making enough runs. It's as simple as that. So while we're getting close and not getting over the line is because we're not scoring enough runs, in my opinion.
Does that put more pressure on you?
Oh, not really. I've got to score more runs. It's as simple as that. I'm part of the batting unit. If I make 100 today, well, actually I didn't need to make 100. If I make 75 today, we win the test match. So, you know, I'm no different to any other batter in that order. I've got a job to do, and first and foremost is score runs. And what I make 25 runs in this test match, that's unacceptable.
Wayne?
Mate, Peter Siddle has carried the heaviest load so far in the bowling, and he's looking tired. Do you think you can freshen him up by the over, or do you think he just needs a rest?
I hope so. He's bowled really well throughout the series for us once again. He's obviously a big part of our team, and we're fortunate with Sids at the moment. He's just playing Test cricket, so I know he'll want to play the last Test match. You know, he's fit and strong, and his preparation will be like it has been for every Test match. He'll give himself the best chance by recovery, rest, and doing all the right things, and I'm confident with the break we have, we'll be able to get him up.
Richard?
Michael, at what point do you get to the point, I guess, where you say, with all the will in the world, some of these guys in our batting lineup just aren't up to it, and they just start rebuilding again?
I think we're picking the best players, to be honest. Everyone continues to say rebuild. At the end of the day, you need guys making runs in first-class cricket to take somebody's spot. You can't just drop someone if there's no one better to take their spot. You know, I think we've got to continue to show faith in young players in Australia. It takes time, and you're playing against good opposition. You know, we just played South Africa in Australia. We're playing a good opposition here. Play England back in Australia, then we go to South Africa. So we're playing the best oppositions in the world. I don't really know the answer to your question, to be honest, apart from I think the selectors are doing the best they possibly can to pick the best players.
I guess what I'm saying is, how many opportunities can you keep giving players to be in these situations as well before the question mark comes?
And then what do? You've got to select 11 players to take the field. You can't go out there with 2 players. You pick a squad, you pick an Ashes squad that, you know, the selectors thought this was the best squad for these conditions. And I think the selectors are doing a fine job. It's not easy. Like I say, guys aren't scoring as many runs as we would like in first-class cricket. When you pick the squad, you've got to keep the faith. You've got to do everything you can to encourage them and try and get the best out of them. And it'd be nice if the captain led by example and scored a few more runs as well.
Dan?
Michael, I know it's not something you can change overnight, but how much of the factor do you think was the experience difference between the two teams?
I think it plays a part. I think you look at the England team, there's a lot of guys that have been involved in Ashes cricket. It's not an excuse though, but I think it certainly plays a part, there's no doubt about it.
John.
Michael, Australia's never lost 4-0 in England.
I knew there had to be a statistic.
I mean, obviously you want to win every game, but how much of the goal of avoiding 4-0 is part of what you do for the next week?
I won't even think about it. To me, I want to win the test match because it's another test match. The statistics don't bother me one bit. I've been a part of a lot of records, and a lot of them of late haven't been great, but it doesn't change my attitude. We'll do everything we can to try and win this test match. If we get outplayed and we lose the test, then that's what happens in this game.
Michael, while there's the sort of obvious disappointment now, does any party sort of feel you may be heading in the right direction ahead of the reverse series? Obviously, you've had Chris Rogers coming in and being a major success. Your bowlers have consistently threatened England. Is there any party feeling that way?
Oh, look, I certainly feel there's a lot of positives that have come out of this tour. There's no doubt about it. It's hard to see when you're 3-0 down, but personally, I think I can see a lot of positives so far on this tour from individual players, and I know that'll hold us in good stead when we get back to Australia. But you know, we've got to continue to fight, continue to work hard. And hopefully have some success on the rest of this tour. Like all the boys, we'd love to win this last test and do well in the 1 days and then take some momentum into Australia.
Yeah, and how important is that last test now to try and sort of build some momentum into the next series with it being so quickly on the horizon? Yeah,
it's important. There's no doubt about it. It's as important as the first 4 test matches have been. You know, we want to play some good cricket. I think we've shown in patches, inconsistently, that we have got the talent and potential to have success over here. I think Manchester was a fine example of that. If we play that cricket, I'm confident we can beat any team in the world.